I never thought I'd kill a man with his own reflection. But there I was, staring into the mirror of Victor Hale's penthouse bathroom, his chiseled jaw and silver fox hair staring back at me, my new face, my stolen skin, while the real Quinn rotted in a body that wasn't his anymore. The body swap had been a desperate gamble, a black market neural hack cooked up in some Silicon Valley basement, and now, with Victor's empire at my fingertips, I whispered his dying words back to myself. You owe me everything. Yeah, well, debts like that, they cut both ways. And as I smashed the vial that sealed our fates, I realized the real revenge wasn't in the swap. It was in making him watch me burn it all down from the inside. It started 3 years ago, in the sticky heat of a Chicago summer, when I was just another kid from the South Side scraping by on dreams and ramen. My name's Quinn Rivera, 22 back then, fresh out of community college with a half-baked coding degree and a mountain of hope. Mom had died when I was 12, Dad split before I could walk, so I was raised by the streets and whatever odd jobs I could snag, delivering pizzas in the rain, coding freelance gigs for shady apps that paid in crypto. But college? That was the golden ticket, the escape hatch from the trap of poverty that snaps shut on kids like me. I applied to every scholarship under the sun, but nada, until Victor Hale showed up like a wolf in donor's clothing. He found me at a tech fair in the Loop, schmoozing with wide-eyed freshmen like he was the second coming of Elon Musk. Victor Hale, tech mogul, philanthropist, the guy whose face grinned from Forbes covers and TED Talks, preaching, pulling yourself up by your bootstraps, while his company, Hale Dynamics, vacuumed up data from every broke millennial in America. He cornered me by the VR demo, his handshake firm as a vice, eyes scanning me like I was source code.
Quinn, right?
Saw your app prototype. Raw talent. Ever think about Northwestern? I laughed, nervous, starstruck. Tuition there? A cool 60 grand a year. But he leaned in, voice like oiled leather. I've got a foundation.
Pays your way. Nostrines.
Well, a few. Sign here. The contract was buried in legalese thicker than a phone book. 20 grand up front for tuition, books, even a stipend for my crappy apartment. In return, 40% of my lifetime earnings, post-graduation, until I hit retirement age or died, whichever came first. It's an investment, he said, sliding the pen across. You succeed, we all win. Controversy? Hell, in America, this was just Tuesday. Predatory loans dressed as benevolence, the kind of deal that keeps the poor poor and the rich richer. I signed because what choice did I have? Mom's ghost whispered in my ear, "Take the shot, Mijo." So I did. Northwestern was a blur of all-nights in the library, coding algorithms that made professors cream their khakis, and Victor's mentorship calls, late-night Zooms where he'd grill me on my progress, his smile never reaching his eyes. By junior year, I was acing it, interning at Hale Dynamics, building AI that predicted consumer habits down to your coffee order. Victor started treating me like a protege, flying me out to his Silicon Valley retreats, introducing me to VCs who dangled startup dreams. But cracks showed. One night, after too many whiskeys at a gala, he let slip. "You're like the son I never had, Quinn. Don't screw this up."
So?
I brushed it off as boozy affection. Then the betrayal hit like a freight train. It was embezzlement. $2 million siphoned from Hale's R&D slush fund, funneled through dummy accounts I'd coded for testing. The feds raided my dorm at dawn, badges flashing, my laptop seized like it was bin Laden's hard drive. I swore blind. Those scripts were prototypes, never live. But the logs?
Doctored.
My digital fingerprints everywhere. Victor was there in the dean's office, face etched with disappointment. "I believed in you, kid.
This
breaks my heart." He pulled strings, got me a plea deal, 5 years probation instead of bars, but the damage? My degree yanked, internships evaporated, and that contract? It activated like a curse. 40% of my nothing income, plus reparations for the harm I'd caused his empire. I crashed on friends' couches, flipping burgers for pennies, the weight of it crushing me. That crime? It wasn't mine. I'd borne it for someone, some ghost in the machine. Late nights hacking public records I dug. And oh, the secrets unearthed. Victor Hale wasn't just a mogul. He was a monster with a Rolodex of skeletons. The embezzlement? A setup to test loyalties, but the real thief was his own VP, a sleaze named Harlan Crow, who'd been skimming for years. Victor framed me to smoke Harlan out, but when Harlan lawyered up clean, I became the fall guy. Deeper still, my mom. She hadn't died of cancer. Overdose. Fentanyl-laced pills from a Hale Dynamics trial gone wrong, buried under NDAs and payoffs. Victor knew her. Hell, he'd funded her treatment back in the day, then silenced the fallout. I was his loose end, his investment, to atone or exploit. Rage festered, dark and American as apple pie laced with arsenic. I hit rock bottom in a Skid Row motel, scrolling dark web forums where the desperate traded whispers of forbidden tech. That's where I found Dr. Alara Voss, ex-Hale engineer, blackballed for ethics violations, now peddling neural swaps in the shadows. Body transference, she called it, a cocktail of nanites and psychedelics that hijacks the brain's mapping, letting two minds trade shells for 72 hours. Reversible if you had the antidote. Pricey, 50 grand, but she fronted me on credit, eyes gleaming with her own grudge against Victor. Make him feel it, she said, injecting the vial under a flickering bulb. Then bring him down. The swap hit like lightning in my veins. 1 minute, I'm Quinn in a threadbare tee, staring at Alara's van in an abandoned warehouse lot outside Gary, Indiana. Next, I'm gasping in silk sheets, Victor's body heavy with bourbon and privilege, his reflection mocking me from a gold-framed mirror. Panic clawed, his memories flooded in fragments. Boardroom betrayals, a hidden daughter he'd abandoned, the cold calculus of framing me to protect his throne. I stumbled to his phone, heart hammering. Text from Harlan. Boss, the kid's toast. Loose ends tied. And there, buried in encrypted files, the kicker, my mom's autopsy, doctored, with Victor's signature greenlighting the cover-up. 72 hours. That's all I had to dismantle an empire built on bodies like mine. I started small, subtle, leaks from his personal email, anonymous drops to journalists about Hale's data harvesting scandals. Twitter, X, whatever, lit up. Hale harvest trending, protesters outside his Chicago tower waving signs about corporate slavery. Controversy brewed. Pundits debated if I was a whistleblower or a bitter ex-employee. But I was neither. I was the ghost in his machine, whispering poison. By hour 24, I was in his office, the loop skyline a glittering cage. His assistant, a sharp-eyed woman named Lena, eyed me funny. Victor's body moved different, stiffer without my South Side swagger. Everything all right, Mr. Hale? I grunted affirmation, hacking his desktop while she fetched coffee. Files upon files. The contract templates, predatory as vultures, ensnaring hundreds of protégés like me. I forwarded them to a burner account, seeding the web with proof. Then the big play, a board call. I dialed in, voice modulator smoothing my accent to his patrician drawl. Gentlemen, we're pivoting. Full audit on R&D. Heads will roll. Gasps on the line. Harlan's voice cracked. Sir? I hung up, smirking. Let the rats scurry. But decisions loomed, the kind that twist your gut. Victor's daughter, Eliza, 18, ivy-bound, the apple of his eye. His memories painted her innocent, but files showed payoffs to her mom's ex, silencing abuse claims. Did she know? As him, I could protect her, or expose her, drag the Hale name through the mud with her tuition checks. Controversy gnawed. Was revenge on the father fair game for the kid? I wired anonymous funds to her account, enough to cut ties, a mercy or a manipulation. Hell if I knew. America loves its moral mazes, where the innocent pay for the sins of the fathers. Hour 48. The climax brewed in Victor's, my private jet, en route to a D.C. schmooze with senators. Harlan boarded mid-flight, sweating bullets, briefcase of loyalty oaths. I cornered him the galley, Victor's bulk intimidating even to me. You framed the kid.
Quinn. Why?
He blanched, stammering about protecting the vision. Lies crumbled under pressure. he confessed, voice a whisper over the engines. Victor's orders, to test me, to break me into the fold. But the real secret? Harlan was my uncle, Mom's brother, the one who'd vanished after her death, bought off by Victor to disappear. Betrayal squared, blood on blood. I didn't kill him. Not yet. Instead, I recorded it all, his sniveling plea, the dates, the dollars. Uploaded to a dead man switch. If I didn't punch the code by hour 72, it blasts to every news outlet from CNN to the Chicago Tribune. Harlan begged, offered cuts of his own skim. I laughed. Victor's laugh, cold as Lake Michigan in January. Family sticks together, right, Uncle? His eyes widened. He knew the swap rumors from the dark web. As the jet touched down, sirens wailed. Feds, tipped by my earlier leaks. Harlan cuffed, me slipping away in the chaos. Victor's limo a chariot to freedom. Back in the penthouse. Hour 70. The real storm hit. Alara's antidote vial glowed on the nightstand, but doubt crept. Victor's mind ghosts murmured. Powers rush. The deals that built empires. I could stay, rule as him, rewrite the contracts, be the benevolent tyrant. Or swap back, let the leaks do the work, fade into obscurity. But revenge demanded more, catharsis, the face-to-face. I dosed the real Victor, trapped in my old body, hauled from the motel by Alara's goons. He woke chained to a chair in the penthouse study, my face, his old shell, twisted in fury. What the fuck is this, Rivera? I circled him, savoring it. You paid $20K to own me. Framed me for your sins. Killed my mom and called it progress. His eyes darted, calculating, always the mogul. You're in over your head, kid. I can fix this. Drop the charges, wipe the contract. Hell, I'll make you a partner. Lies sweet as sucralose. I played the recording, Harlan's confession, Mom's file. He deflated, just a tired old man in a young man's skin. She was collateral. Business. Collateral. My fist clenched. Controversy roared in my veins. Punch him? End it? No, too easy. America doesn't do quick ends. We drag em out on prime time. Instead, I force the truth. The swap's permanence. Alara's tweak, no reversal. You're me now, Victor. South Side scraps. 40% owed to shadows. Live it. His scream echoed as I walked out, the city lights blurring through tears. Leaks dropped at midnight. Hail dynamics imploding, stock plunging 40%, protesters chanting my name, Quinn's name, as the hero or the hack. Harlan flipped, testifying for immunity. Victor, me, vanished into the system, a ghost of his empire. But the twist? It gutted me on the red-eye back to Chicago, Alara's voice crackling on a burner. Check the DNA logs, Quinn. The swap. It's synced deeper. You're not just in his body. You're his blood. Victor Hale. My father. Mom's treatment. A cover for his affair. The overdose, his guilt-fueled sabotage. I'd borne his crime. Abandonment. Framed as theft. To atone for his sins. The betrayal? In my veins. I stared at his hands, power thrumming. Did I burn it all for justice, or inherit the monster? Ending? You tell me. I sit in Victor's boardroom now, contracts shredding under my signature, Eliza at my side, niece, not daughter, forging her own path. Empire crumbles, but I'm rising on its ashes. Hero? Villain? Or just another American dream, twisted into nightmare? Debated over beers. I'll be the one buying with 40% interest. The fallout hit like a Midwest blizzard, swift, blinding, and liable to bury you alive. Waking up in Victor's skin felt less like victory and more like wearing a suit tailored for a stranger. Every movement a reminder that this body wasn't built for my ghosts. His heart, my heart now, thudded with a rhythm of boardroom battles, not block parties. I showered under rain heads that cost more than my old apartment, scrubbing away the phantom itch of my South Side scars, but they lingered in the mirror's judgmental stare. 48 hours in, and the world was already unraveling the Hale tapestry I'd just set ablaze. First call of the morning. Noon, really jet lag biting, was from Lena, Victor's assistant, her voice a razor through the speaker. Mr. Hale, the board's in meltdown. Stocks down 15%. Harlan's in custody, spilling like a sieve.
And
There's this. She hesitated, the pause heavy with subtext. I could picture her, mid-30s, pantsuit sharp as her wit, the kind of woman who'd climb the ladder on her own nails. A manifesto. From Quinn Rivera. Claims you framed him. It's viral. I feigned outrage, Victor's timbre rumbling out. Damage control, Lena. Call the PR firm. And get me the jet logs, find out how that little shit got access.
click.
She bought it or played along. Either way, time ticked. I paced the penthouse, floor-to-ceiling windows framing the windy city like a diorama of my rage. Chicago, my cradle and curse, steel girders and segregated souls, where the magnificent mile mocks the food deserts. Victor's memories sloshed in, private clubs where deals were sealed over scotch, backroom handshakes that crushed unions. I raided his liquor cabinet, pouring a finger of Macallan to steady the shakes. The swap side effects. Paranoia, they said on the forums. Or maybe just clarity. I wasn't Quinn anymore, not fully. His fire fueled me, but Victor's ice tempered it. Cunning, the predator's edge. Decision 1, Eliza. His daughter, holed up at Stanford, blissfully scrolling TikTok while the empire quaked. I pulled her file, straight A's, activist streak, leading protests against big tech's carbon footprint. Irony? Her daddy's company spewed more emissions than a small nation. As her father now, I could shield her, transfer assets, fake a disappearance. Or weaponize. Leak her texts, the ones begging Victor for just one dinner, Dad. Paint the Hales as fractured dynasty. Controversy churned. Blood ties demand loyalty, but what if the blood's tainted? I opted middle ground, wiring $500K to an offshore for her anonymous note. Build your own world. A friend. Mercy? Or buying silence. In America, it's the same coin. By evening, I was wheels up to D.C., Victor's Gulfstream a flying bunker of leather and lies. The pilot nodded deferential. I nodded back, suppressing the urge to spill the whole mad tale. En route, I dove deeper into his encrypted drives, smuggled on a thumb drive from the office. Secrets unspooled like bad code. Not just Mom's cover-up, but a web. Victor had funded half the predatory scholarship programs in the Midwest, contracts like mine ensnaring 10,000 kids a year. 40% forever? A modern indenture, legal slavery for the ambitious poor. He'd branded it Hail Horizons, Ted-worthy bullshit. And Harlan? My uncle, yeah, but complicit, pocketing kickbacks while Mom withered. Touchdown at Dulles, and the schmooze awaited. Senators in pocket, lobbyists with greased palms. Victor's calendar was a who's who of corruption. Dinners at Ruth's Chris, whispers about data bills that'd let Hale Dynamics mine your soul for ad bucks. I showed. Face impassive, but inside?
Storm.
At the Capitol Grill, over dry-aged ribeyes, Senator Hargrove leaned in. Vic, that Rivera kid's stirring shit. Need it quieted. I smiled. Forking steak. Handled. But audits first, clean house. His fork paused. Eyes narrowed. Audits?
That's
Bold.
bold.
Try vengeful. By dessert, I'd planted seeds. Whispers of Hargrove's own investments in Hale stock, IRS tips queued in my pocket. Back in the limo, buzz from the burner. Alara. Swap holding?
Nanitistigrade fast.
I glanced at my watch. Hour 52.
Solid.
But the antidote? Silence. It's one way now, Quinn. Victor's mind fought back, sinked too deep. You're him. Permanently. My reflection in the window warped, rain smeared. Father? The DNA log she'd sent. 99.9% match. Mom's affair? No. Victor's one-night stand during a business trip, her a waitress at his favorite dive. He'd known about me, watched from afar, then invested to control the reminder. The crime I'd borne? Not just embezzlement, his abandonment, projected onto me as theft. Twist inverted. I wasn't the victim stealing. He was the thief, robbing me of a name. Rage redirected. I greenlit the dead man's switch partial drop. Harlan's confession to select outlets, timed for morning drive time. Twitter, X, exploded overnight. Hail heist, memes of Victor as Scrooge in a lab coat. Protesters amassed outside Hale HQ, Southside kids like me chanting 40% no more. Controversy peaked. Fox called it entitled millennial payback. MSNBC corporate reckoning. I watched from Victor's, my hotel suite, CNN droning. Is Quinn Rivera a hacker hero or a hoax?
Hero.
Hoax.
Both.
Neither. Dawn broke with a bang. FBI knock at the door. Badges flashing like bad karma. Mr. Hale, we need to talk about Quinn Rivera. I invited them in, cool as lake effect chill. Coffee poured, alibis spun. Victor's jet logs hacked. My protege turned Judas. They bought the surface, but eyes lingered on his trembling hand. The swap's toll, muscle memory clashing, Quinn's twitchy fingers in Victor's steady grip. Sir, any idea where he is? I leaned back, channeling mogul menace. Find him. Sue him dry. They left unsatisfied, but the seed was planted. Doubt in the dawn. Hour 60. Pivot to Chicago. The jet screaming west. Lena met me at O'Hare, tablet in hand, face a mask of loyalty laced with suspicion. Board emergency. They're voting no confidence. We slid into the Maybach, city blurring, Wrigley shadows, lakeshore drives curve like a noose. En route, she cracked. Victor, sir, this isn't you. The audits, the leaks. What's going on? Her eyes, sharp, searching. Decision 2. Trust? Or torch? Lena'd been with him a decade, signing those cursed contracts, but files showed her pushing back, anonymous tips to ethics boards, buried. Ally or accomplice? I tested. Lena, if I told you I'm not who I seem, would you help burn it down? Silence stretched then. I've waited years for this. Grin split my face. Victor's charm, Quinn's grit. Then let's make history. Hale Tower loomed, a glass monolith piercing the clouds. Elevators whisked us to the 92nd floor, boardroom a war zone of suits and spreadsheets. I strode in, commanding the head, mine by proxy. Gentlemen, ladies, this ends today. Gasps as I projected the files, contracts, payoffs, Mom's autopsy. Harlan's vid looped, his betrayal a soundtrack to their horror. Victor's built an empire on backs like Quinn's. We're auditing everything. Resign or face the feds. Chaos erupted. Accusations flying, phones buzzing with sell orders. One old coot, silver-haired relic named Beaumont, sneered. This is madness, Hale. You'll tank us all. I met his gaze. Good. Some things need to sink. As security cleared the room, Lena at my elbow, the real climax whispered. Victor. Alara's text. Your old body's en route. Warehouse, you know the one. His heart raced. Controversy's core. Confront the man who'd sired and sabotaged me. Was it justice to cage him in my skin, or just trading cages? America thrives on such debates. Revenge porn for the soul. The warehouse stank of rust and regret. Gary's industrial corpse under sodium lights. Victor, in my body, gaunt, eyes wild, chained to a beam, Alara's shadows flanking. He lunged as I entered, chains rattling. Rivera, you little shit, give it back. I towered over him, his frame on me like borrowed armor. It's Quinn Hale now, Dad. The word landed like a gut punch. He sagged, truth dawning.
You.
Knew. Laughter barked, bitter, broken. DNA doesn't lie. Neither does the overdose you ordered. His face crumpled, my old features twisting in paternal pain. I was protecting you. From this world.
Protecting?
The lie of the father, as old as Cain. We talked, or monologued, hours bleeding into the night. His confessions poured. The affair, the guilt, framing me to toughen the air he denied. Harlan? Muscle for the mess. But the twist's barb, Mom knew. Her overdose. Suicide, note blaming Victor, destroy to spare me the hate. I'd borne her pain, his crime, a double inheritance of shadows. As dawn crept, Elara handed the false antidote, placebo, her wink confirming the permanence. I dosed him anyway, watching hope flicker then die. Live as me, Vic owe the world 40%. Unchained, he stumbled into the gray, a ghost in my skin.
Me?
Back to the tower, Eliza's call lighting my phone. Dad? What's happening? Voice steady. Change, kid. The good kind. Empire teetered, but I caught it. Rebranding Hale Horizons as Fairtrade Futures, Lena at the helm. Victor vanished into the underbelly, whispers of a South Side drifter peddling code for scraps. Justice? Or cycle unbroken? 2 weeks post-swap, and the mirror still lied. Victor's eyes, my eyes, stared back from the penthouse vanity, crow's feet etching stories I'd never lived. Mergers in Monaco, mistresses in Miami. But beneath, Quinn simmered, the kid who'd hustled bootleg mixtapes, dreamed of escaping the L train's rattle. Permanence settled like Chicago fog. No reversal. Elara confirmed over encrypted line. The sinks total. You're Hale now. Use it. Use it? For what? Rebuilding or raising further? The debate raged in my skull. American as a courtroom drama. Redemption arc or villain's encore. The media circus peaked that Monday, headlines screaming, Hale air hoax. From the Tribune to TMZ. Protesters camped outside the tower, a rainbow coalition, South Side moms waving my old photo, Silicon Valley bros decrying woke sabotage. Controversy was oxygen. Podcasters dissected the contracts. Ethicists on CNN pondered if 40% is indentured servitude 2.0. I tuned in from the boardroom, Lena briefing. Stocks rebounding 8%. Resignations accepted. Half the old guard gone. Her smile? Genuine, laced with the thrill of mutiny. We'd torched the rot. Now, plant seeds. But ghosts haunted. Eliza flew in that afternoon. Stanford on pause, her hug tentative in the foyer. Dad. The news.
Quinn.
Is it true? 20 now, all cheekbones and fire. Victor's poise, Mom's warmth, my unknowing half-sister. I pulled her to the couch, Lake Michigan glittering beyond. Truth or tale? Decision 3. Full disclosure, or paternal shield. It's complicated, Liz.
He was.
Family. Her eyes widened as I spilled, swap veiled as therapy. The frame up, the blood tie. Omission on the overdose. Some secret scar too deep. She processed, tears streaking. You destroyed him for us? Or for you?
Us.
The word hooked deep. Both. Now we fix it. We pivoted Hale dynamics that week. Contracts voided, restitution funds seeded. $100 million to Horizons 2.0, debt-free scholarships for 5,000 kids. Press conference in the loop, me at the podium, Eliza flanking, Lena scripting. Flashes popped, reporters bayed. Mr. Hale, was Rivera a plant? I leaned in, mic hot. Quinn was the conscience we ignored. This is his win. Cheers from the crowd. But online? Flames. Hale redemption trended with too little too late. Accusations I was whitewashing, profiting off pain. Fair? In the court of public opinion, nah. But revenge's aftertaste is ash. You choke it down. Harlan's trial broke mid-month. Federal courthouse zoo. I testified as victim, not victor, detailing the skim, the frame. His eyes met mine across the bar. Defeated, my uncle's face pleading kin. Jury deliberated 2 days. Guilty on all, fraud, conspiracy. Sentence. 15 years, no parole. As marshals led him out, he mouthed, "Sorry, nephew." Nephew. The word twisted, controversy's knife. Forgive the blood, or let it bleed. I visited once. Supermax glass between, his orange jumpsuit a far cry from Armani. Why'd you do it, uncle? He shrugged, chains clinking. Your mom. She begged me to watch you. Victor paid better. Betrayal's echo, generational curse. I left without absolution. The doors slam final as fate. Victor's trail went cold after Gary, sightings of a crazy vet panhandling near Comiskey, peddling tall tales of stolen lives. Alara tracked whispers, my old body, gaunt, ranting on X about the switch. I debated hunting him, drag him back, parade the patriarch's fall. But no, let him rot in the skin he'd scorned. The real climax? Internal. Nightmares blended our dreams, his of lost empires, mine of mom's grave. Awake in sweat, I'd pace the balcony, city pulse sinking with doubt. Was I avenging her or aping him? Rebranding poison as potion? Twist's shadow lengthened. A package arrived, unmarked, mom's locket inside, the one Victor's memories placed in his safe. Note in shaky hand, his via my fingers. You were always the better man, son. Burn it all.
Suicide?
Or escape. Cops ruled accident. Overdose, ironic echo, but I knew. He'd borne my pain, ended it on his terms. Grief hit seismic. Father slain by my hand, or his own. Debate eternal. Did I push him to the edge, or free him from the cage? Months blurred into rebuild. Eliza interned, her app dismantling data biases. Lena climbed to COO, her ethics ironclad.
Hale dynamics?
Leaner, meaner, AI for good, auditing the auditors. My future income? 90% mine, the 40% a relic in headlines. But success's underbelly gnawed, power corrupted, Victor's ghost tempting shortcuts. A senator's call, old favors dangling. I hung up clean. Controversy lingered. Op-eds questioning if I'd canceled my own dad. Therapy speak for patricide. 1 year on, South Side block party, bass thumping from lowriders. I showed jeans, not suits, handing scholarships to wide-eyed kids like I was. A girl, 16, clutched the envelope. This changes everything, Mr. Hale. Quinn, I corrected silently. But Hale stuck, a name reclaimed. As fireworks cracked over the lake, Eliza linked arms. Proud? I nodded, the city's hum a bomb. Victor's eyes teared up, mine now.
Ending? Nota idibao.
Empire mended, but scars map the mend. Hero's arc or hubris's fall. You decide, over coffee in some overpriced cafe, debating the American conundrum. How far for payback?
Me?
I'll keep building, 40% heart, the rest fire. After all, debts cut both ways, and mine's paid in full.